Gamecast from MSN.
Hello, dear listener. Ian Lee here, welcoming you to another MSN Gamecast. Nick's there.
Hello.
And Verity.
Hello.
Verity did the wave there.
I did a little
You're
wave.
looking very bronzed.
Yes.
Have you been on holiday?
I did a little cruise. I don't think everyone goes, oh, you're a bit young for that.
Well, that's an old person's holiday, the
Yeah,
cruise.
it
Did
was.
you play shuttlecock?
No, I played basketball.
On a boat?
Yeah. Massive court on the back of the boat. Amazing.
How is that possible? It's like playing snooker in a car, isn't it?
Well, actually, the day I did play was a little bit rocky, and so
Yeah.
you did kind of... That's what I blamed on every time I missed.
Yeah, of
I
course,
blamed it on that as the
of
boat.
course.
Yeah.
Have you ever
But it was
considered going
good.
on a cruise?
I never have, actually, no. No, but maybe I will now. I've found out I can play basketball.
Can we get any...
All
Listen,
sorts.
MSN, they're worth a few quid, aren't they? Even in these troubled times. Could we get, like, some money off them?
To go on a cruise.
Yeah?
Gamecast special.
Can't we do a little tour
Yes.
or something? Surely we can
Yes.
get that, can't we?
I like thinking.
Take gaming around the
Around
world,
the sea?
Around the seas, yeah.
Nick, I'll leave that with you. Hopefully next month we'll be in the Med.
Ian, I'm already on it.
Beautiful. Now,
Amazing.
video games is what we are here for, although with the previous few episodes it seems to be getting further and further away from the remit, so but let's try and rein it in. We'll start as always with what we have been playing this month. Did you play anything? Were you just playing that and the gamblers on the boat?
Yeah, there was a casino on the boat. That was
Oh, really?
dangerous
Did you
as
have a
well.
go?
Yeah, see, I've never really been to a casino over here. I've only been to the ones in Vegas during CES.
Yeah.
And it's usually like $15, $20 minimum bet just for like one go on the roulette, and I'm like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
Whereas on there it's only $1 minimum bet, so it was a little
see,
bit
that's
more
dangerous.
Oh, I remember
You didn't
that.
play any computer games?
Yes, I have been,
Oh.
but unfortunately the
You can't
game.
remember?
No, I played it. I've just played it recently since I've been back because it came out just before I went on holiday.
Yep.
And I didn't get time to play it before. I don't think it came through the post until I've returned, actually.
What was it? We're all waiting.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Ooh.
Yeah, have you played it?
No.
It's fan of Street Fighter, fan of Tekken.
I like Tekken. Big fan of Tekken.
I like Street Fighter better.
Well, then I think you might prefer it, Nick, because
Is it more Street Fighter
it's more
style?
Street Fighter. There is a Tekken Cross Street Fighter coming out, which
Oh.
so that's going to be more.
Methinks they're milking this one a little
Yes.
bit too much. Okay, yes.
But basically, Tekken was like a 3D fighter, and Street Fighter was 2D.
Tekken was one of the greatest games for the PlayStation when it came out. Just amazing.
And they've brought Tekken from a 3D environment into the 2D Street Fighter environment. But it does look gorgeous. It does look very nice. I mean, all the Tekken characters have been kind of remodelled by Capcom. But they look good. They kind of stay true, but they have got more of a Capcom feel than Namco.
Tekken was the first video game I played where I thought I found myself sexually attracted to some of the characters. Seriously, some of those...
Which one? Do you think?
I
Remember?
can't remember their names. It's been such a long time. But some of the two of those girls...
The one was called Lily.
Was
She
there a
had
Lily?
blonde. She looked like a blonde Chun-Li, basically.
Yeah, maybe it was her.
People will hate me for saying that.
We had
but-
some great times together.
There's a very wistful smile playing across Ian's face at this point.
It was my early 20s. I was a very lonely man. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, it's really good. I've got plenty more to play. I haven't really
Right.
had a chance to really get into it. There's
Yep.
like loads of different modes. It's much more accessible for people that might not have played Street Fighter or
Yep.
Tekken or never really learned all of or a bit more of button basher,
Yep.
which I have to say when I was younger definitely was. Everybody's done it, but it's a bit more accessible. You've got things like this new gem system where each
Gems.
you play as a tag team anyway. You can't
Yep.
you don't play single player, so you can play against the computer obviously, but it's two
Yep.
two players, and you
You carry on
pick-
talking, because this may go on for a while, so I'm going to have one of these Jaffa cakes.
go for it.
You go for it.
And you have like a gem system, which is new to the game. So you pick 3 gems before you start, and they cover things like assault, defense, all sorts of different kind of things where you might not be very good at, or you're very good at, and you want to improve it. And that helps you kind of everybody gets them at the
Well,
beginning
like a
of every
special
game.
power.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good...
But it was really good.
Thumbs
I'm
up.
looking forward to seeing more. There's quite a few interesting modes. There's obviously your normal arcade mode.
Yep.
You've got mission modes where you have to perform certain tasks, which is good for beginners
Yep.
who are trying to learn different combos and things like that. And then there's also quite an interesting, what looks like quite an interesting multiplayer online, but I haven't had time to play that yet. So
Nick, have you been playing
Nice to
any
meet you.
games at all?
I have, yes. I've been playing on my Skyrim box quite a lot, of course. But aside from that,
Yes.
I've also been playing Journey on PS3.
Oh, no, I've heard lots about this. Yes, go on.
It's a downloadable title
Yep.
for PS3, costs a tenner.
This is the one where you like start off in a desert or something.
That's the one.
Yeah,
This is going to
good.
be a game that's at the end of the year. It's going to be on all sorts of best of 2012 lists because it's very arty and it's very different, a very ethereal feeling.
Yep.
You start in the desert as this person just clad in a cloak with a big scarf wafting out from behind them, and you're not told what to do. There's no tutorial or any sort of reason why you're there or anything. There's just this big mountain in the background, and you just start walking, and gradually so you find your way through these levels. There's these kind of like gentle puzzles, and you gradually learn new abilities, and before too long you find yourself flying through levels, and it's just really, really arty, but not in a naff way.
Is it? Sorry, I am chomping on a biscuit now. Is it the same people that did Flower or something?
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's had brilliant reviews.
Yes,
A mate of mine was
absolutely.
banging on about it the other night.
Yeah, much deserved. You know, I mean, you've got to go into it with the right expectation
Yep.
because it's not. It's not got a thriller minute attached to it. It's more the kind of game that you relax back with, and like sort of play it on an easy Sunday afternoon.
With all of these Call of Duty spin-offs and all these FIFAs and stuff like that, which are wonderful, wonderful games, it's nice to see something that's a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more thoughtful and slower, getting some recognition.
Yeah, I mean, there's even subtext into it. If you're into all that kind of thing, there's loads of message boards at the moment heaving with what's the meaning of this game? Is it some sort of discussion on life itself and all of that?
Well, it's just a game,
you know.
but nice effort, geeks. Good work.
Yeah,
Well done.
exactly.
And you, there is a mini podcast available of
there
me
is.
going to the Star Wars Kinect launch. I got to interview the wee robot. What's his name? R2D2.
Yes.
This is bleeps, isn't it? But I got to go and play it. Me and my friend Geeky Tom went, and I had a play on it. Mixed game, I would say. Looks amazing, as you would expect. Let's start with the positives. The bit that I loved, and the Star Wars fans will hate, is the dance bit. There's a dance bit in it, where you're like in a nightclub, right? And then Han Solo, you have to do... It's one of those dance games, you
You
know.
have to dance with Han
You
Solo.
have to dance with Han
Amazing.
Solo.
What to? Lady Gaga or
Oh,
something?
just to some, like, space music. I don't know. But so you're doing the dance
music
moves.
from the cantina.
I don't know if it is that. It's
Discovery.
something. But it's excellent. I mean, it's kind of throwaway rubbish, and but it was a lot of fun. Star Wars fans will hate it and will think that you know, this is George Lucas once again urinating over history.
It does sound quite wrong.
But I just thought it was funny. It was just funny, and it was nonsense. And it's a tiny part of the game. And there was I don't know any of the Star Wars characters. Tell me this: who's the gentleman with the moustache? Okay,
Lando Calrissian.
yes, it is. Well done.
Amazing.
time.
He dances as well, and it look you know I
He
thought-
dances with Han Solo.
He dances separately. He was after Han Solo.
Oh right. Okay.
I
Are
wonder if-
you like a head-to-head? Are you like doing a battle?
I was doing a
against
dance off with
dancers?
my mate Tom.
So okay. So
he
are
doesn't
they
come
your
with the
backing
game.
dancers or something?
They're on. You're copying their moves.
Oh right. I get you.
I'm doing some moves here. So that was good. Throwaway nonsense. I enjoyed that a lot. The real bit of the game that I loved was the pod racing. Okay, and it was again me and my friend had 2-player, and it's Connect. So it's all you know what Connect is. Oh, I'm talking about an idiot. But anyway, so you've got your hands outstretched, and you pull your left hand to turn left, and you pull your right hand to turn right. And we were doing that for a bit before we realised actually that was having no effect. We kind of went around the track anyway. We were assured that was because it was on baby level, and that if you go to medium or higher, that it operates and it stays like that. And to do a turbo boost, you pull back and then you thrust forward. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And that, I think, should have been the game on its own because it was exciting, it looked wonderful, you properly felt involved. Although holding your hands out for like 2 minutes is hard work.
I get this with a lot of Kinect games. Actually.
work, man.
Yeah. I had that with Child of Eden. It's actually fairly tiring
Yeah.
after a while.
But
is this just like a collection of mini games then, or is there an overarching story?
I think there's an overarching story. The main thrust of the game is, and I needed a bit longer on it really to kind of get my head around it. It is you're walking around this place and you can do lightsabers. Oh no, there was another bit that was awesome actually. So you're doing lightsabers and you're doing the Force, and you can pick people up with the Force, and then you throw them. And that was a little bit complicated, and a bit confusing, and it's partly because you're playing it in a noisy nightclub surrounded by stormtroopers, which is a little bit intimidating. But there was something there. It needs a bit of... I'd need to have a bit more of a go on it. But another bit was you were this mad, like, big robot, and you walked around this town smashing things up, and then you'd hit the floor and kill people.
That doesn't sound like Star Wars.
I don't know.
Where does a giant robot come from?
I don't know, maybe it was in one of the first 3, the new Star Wars, The New
true.
Adventures. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not that hot on Star Wars, although they filmed me saying that I loved Star Wars and it was one of my favourite films. Free food and drink, wasn't it?
Fair enough.
I'm not afraid to admit that. But yes, overall really, really good. The main fighting bit I'd need to have a bit more of a go on to see if I liked. But the pod bit was the section that I really thought, this is doing something innovative with the Kinect and doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, that sounds
apart from
cool.
waving around swords and lightsabers and things like that.
But it was the Force was the bit that I was really excited about. And
I
that's
couldn't quite. I had trouble with the Force. Again, it was because there were 2 of us, and it would have been nice to have just had a go on my own. And we kind of were in a rush because Peter Serafinowicz and the kid from Outnumbered wanted to have a go. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I was the 3rd most famous person there. So I could, but yes, the Force, you can lift people up and you can throw them. But I was struggling a bit with that. And then you can jump over people, and that's where I got very confused.
Oh, okay.
But the pod bit was fantastic. The robot smashing bits up was excellent. The dancing was just ridiculous but wonderful. I need a bit more in the lightsabering. So we'll see.
Sounds interesting. It's got a cool limited edition Xbox. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's got
business,
like,
yeah.
what is it? It's the
Kind of
Xbox
like
is like
R2D2.
R2D2. The controller's like C3PO.
Yeah.
And
Hang on. Really? Is it like? 'Cause I was offered one of these and I turned it down.
oh, what have you done?
You shouldn't have said no.
I said no.
Yeah.
Oh, nuts.
It's like a gold controller, like
I
C3PO.
could have at the very least sold that on eBay.
Yeah, exactly.
I was offered that, so no thanks. I've got an Xbox. He says, "Oh, you sure?" I said, "Yeah, I've got one."
Oh, better make a quick phone call. You know that thing? I meant yes.
I meant yes, actually. I actually meant yes. Another game I've been playing, which I'm late to on the iPhone, is Quick Draw McGraw. Whatever
Draw
it's called.
something.
Draw something.
Yeah,
that's
that's the other thing. Well, one of the other
Have
ones
you
I've
been
been
playing
playing.
that?
Yes.
I made the
addictive.
mistake of giving out my name on Twitter last night. I've got 332 games of Draw Something on the go. And the thing is, I was in bed last night. I was up at 4:30 this morning. I was in bed last night at 12. Think, all right, let me just get through these games. And of course, by the time you've done, oh man,
Start coming back to you.
excellent game.
Yeah.
I believe Zynga are rumoured to be buying
Right,
the
looking
company.
to buy them. I hope that they don't. I hope that because it's OMG Pop.
All right, I've never played this game. What's going
Oh
on?
right.
Oh, sorry.
So,
yes, of course. Verity, you describe it.
It's a bit like Pictionary. If you ever played Words with Friends,
Yep,
which is like
lots.
it's like a turn-based thing you can play against randoms or friends, and it's similar to that really, except as you're kind of going backwards and forwards with Pictionary. It's less. I don't know. It's more.
Less or more?
Less or more.
More or less.
More or less.
The problem I found with it was too easy.
Yeah, that's it.
In
It's
that
not
you-
got
you-
much challenge.
You
to
shouldn't.
it.
You get like a selection of maybe 15 letters, the 16 letters that it could be the word, and so they shouldn't have any letters there. They should see the
No.
number of letters, and then you should have to guess. And also, you can write what the thing is.
Oh yeah.
So suppose you're drawing Bieber, as I had to draw last night. I did draw Bieber, and I drew him excellently. Actually, I had like a nice cut, a haircut, and musical notes. But you could just write Bieber.
Bieber.
And they'd go, "Oh, Bieber," and they'd put it in. So it's flawed.
Oh, okay, right.
But it's fun. And of course, I'm assuming, Verity, you drew rude things.
Well, no, I've
Oh.
never. But I did draw. I did have to draw a
Steady.
pretzel.
Oh, what?
A pretzel.
Okay, right, yes.
And it looked awfully like something a dog might have done, and I
Oh,
couldn't
really?
change it.
Had someone
I was
drawing-
just like trying to. I redid it over and over again. They
I will.
didn't get
The
it.
rude words coming up, dear listener. So avert your ears. But someone had to draw shampoo for me, and they drew.
Poo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Unpleasant.
Yeah,
But I was drawing all the things and everything. I was doing all that. Just mimed in the air what I drew. You didn't guess. I drew those and those as well.
basically, yeah, you get three choices.
So
Moving it
childish.
on.
Moving on. MSN, of course.
You get easy, medium, or hard. You get a coin, 2 coins, or 3 coins for which one you take on. And if the person you're playing guesses it, then you get these
So
3
you're kind
coins.
of working together.
Yeah, it's not. You're not
yeah.
playing against each other like you are with Words with Friends. Is what I was trying to say. It's less of a challenge like that. It's more. You obviously want them to get it, so you get the money, and then with more money you can buy different colours to help make your picture look better and things like
But
that.
then they
I'll
show
have to try it.
It's a cracking game to me.
No,
It
yeah,
is
it's,
really
it's
good fun.
probably more difficult to explain. than-
But then they show after every 5 rounds or something, they'll show you some of the pictures that people have drawn. And there's me drawing like something like a 3-year-old would. My son could do better. And they've got these amazing, like loads of pictures of Madonna. Going, oh yeah, that's obviously Madonna. Like brilliant pictures
Yeah.
that
Wow.
people have bothered to do. I'm just like going, But it's good. Definitely check that out. I would recommend. That's kind of been the iPhone. I'm assuming it's on other platforms as well. But that's been
on Android.
Right, that's been the sort of sensation of the past few weeks.
My Android game at the moment is very very basic, really. It's called Land Rule. Land Rule? Did you ever play Risk?
I never played Risk. I'm aware of it. No, but I never played it.
It's a Android version of Risk.
Wow.
Effectively, where you can play against real people or you can play against a computer.
Yeah.
And it's just insanely basic, but it's got me completely hooked.
It's
I
all
love
you
strategy
need.
games.
It's all you need. It's the problem, I think, with a lot of these. And we'll talk about the tablet games. £2 billion in 2014 is what they're predicting. Because there's been a huge rise in it. And I think that the important thing is simplicity. I think people are trying too hard to make them as complicated as something on the PlayStation. But on the PlayStation, you've got how many buttons? You've got like a dozen buttons and sticks and everything like that. Yeah. You haven't got that on pads and iPhones and Android phones. And I think simplicity, this draw game is just such a basic thing, but it's so addictive. Yeah. Like this land rule, if it's as simple as you say, that's all you need.
Yeah. It's like a game called Temple Run. Have you heard that?
No.
For the iPhone. It's also really simple. It was at the top, towards the top of the charts, which made me download it. And that's just basically as a man running. You've got something chasing you, running away from something, and you just got to collect coins. And you've got to turn the corners before you fall off the end of the bridge or hit a wall. And that's all you've got to do. And as the level goes on, the man's running faster, so it's harder to turn the corners. And all it is swipes and jumps and ducking under trees and stuff.
Tron light cycles, isn't it, for the 21st century? A bit of Tron light cycles.
Exactly,
that's all you need.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's also really addictive, but pretty difficult now. I've got to a level now. I don't know. I'm going to get past.
I remember the game that I've got and I've not played, and I'd forgotten this game existed. And when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, this used to be my favourite game." I can't remember. What's it called? It's the game. What is the name of it? It's on the PlayStation, and you drive around a town, and you've got like weapons on your car, and you sort of shoot other cars.
Oh, it's
Carmageddon?
No, it's not Carmageddon. And one of the dudes in it is just a guy holding onto two giant wheels, and he spins around.
Yeah.
And there's a big black truck, and it's got loads of weapons on it. It's called... Oh, no!
God,
I just had it. And
it was announced at E3 the year I was there.
It's coming out...
Yeah?
They came out in a massive car.
It's probably out...
So this is news.
Now.
I was thinking retro.
No, it is an older game.
It's an old game. It was one of the best games on the PS1, and they've just brought it out for the PS3. Apparently, there's a version
Derby?
No, it's
that was a good game on the PS1.
Destruction Derby was awesome.
Oh, I've forgotten.
Oh, nuts.
So it's a PS1 game. It's got an HD remake.
Well, they've kind of they did a version on PS2 that wasn't very good. Yeah. I'm just going to say words. This isn't what it's called. This is just City of Destruction, Wheels on Fire. It's something like that, isn't it? I'm getting close.
Both would be great games were they to be made.
Imagine those two games were packaged together. Hot Wheels, Burning Thunder, Car Wars. We'll come back to it.
You'll get it in the middle of something else.
I can see the cover. All right, we'll come back to it. We may have to Google
You know this game.
Yeah, it was announced at E3.
I think it's probably out now. I think it came out last week. I think it came out on the 16th of March. We're recording this whenever.
They brought out like the big vehicle that's in the game with guns all attached to it to announce that it was making a comeback.
Street Desires.
I don't think I even know this game.
I think as soon as you hear the title, you will.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Oh, game is in very serious trouble. We mentioned this last time, didn't we?
We did, yes. We touched on it, and it's developing further, isn't it? But yeah, they're teetering really upon a brink, and by the time you listen to this, I think things will have happened one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, they need to get £180 million as we record this podcast in a week.
Yeah, that's not easy, is it?
Trust me, I've tried. That is very, very difficult. You can go on Kickstarter and everything, but it doesn't... That's a big number to get hold of.
I read a headline, but unfortunately didn't have time to read the full article that said basically the money's there, but RBS need to get their bum into gear because the Currys Group or something is looking to buy it or something like that.
Yeah, there's a few buyers being linked with it, aren't there? But they've got two big bills coming up. The biggest one is their rental bill, I think, and then some debt to pay off.
Well, they've not had. Loads of game suppliers have stopped supplying them games. They didn't have Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
There was another game as well that just came out that they didn't get their hands on.
And one of our colleagues just picked up a PSP there for 50 quid.
Really?
And games for like £3 and stuff. PSP games for £3. That was from Game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And it's just a shame. And we put this on the Facebook page. And a few people said they'd had trouble in game dealing with like stroppy staff, and I've always found them. I've been in a few different branches, Oxford Street, Brent Cross in particular. The people that work, they've been very friendly, and a few others. I've always found them to be brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant,
to be honest,
really knowledgeable.
yeah. And I think it's a shame because you go into stores like HMV, and HMV is struggling as well in all respects, and they're not quite. They haven't quite got that specific knowledge.
No.
Some of them do, but not quite the specific knowledge I found in game, and they've kind of. I've always found game really helpful. Game Station as well, I've done jobs for game, and I think it's very sad, to be honest, because I think it's a shame we will not have a high street games
We were just
retailer.
saying it's going to either be supermarkets or it's going to be online.
You try and ask someone in Tesco's or Safeway or
Yeah.
Asda, does this? What's this? Is this suitable for an 8-year-old? They won't have a clue.
No.
They won't have a clue. And part of the problem is that you can get these games that are 40 quid in game. You can get them 25 quid at Play or Amazon or something like that. But you're also going to lose a lot of the trade-in, which I love the trade-in. I know that EA and other companies are trying to crack down on that, and you get more if you do it on eBay. But I love the fact you can just go in with a stack of games and then walk out with something. I think it's really sad, very sad.
Here's hoping 180 million gets
Come on,
done in a
guys.
week.
Let's
Come
do it.
on.
Good luck.
Should we,
Try
do it, should, we do,
blackjack.
should we do a cake sale? I think that will help. Yeah?
Oh, you made me laugh then.
I think we could help. That might help a bit.
Wheels of Rage.
No.
Something. Has it got wheels in the title?
I don't think so.
I can see the cover. It's got a truck on the cover and fire. Truck fire. We're so going to have to Google it. But it's
Fire simulator.
the BAFTAs. Did you go to the BAFTAs?
No, I was on holiday.
Couldn't make it.
Look
I
at
was,
you.
I was invited, but I had to turn down an invite.
I was invited to be present an award,
Were you?
but it was the
And you
last
turned that
minute.
down?
Someone dropped out, and after last year, where I died on my arse, I thought, you know what, I won't this year. And also, I was busy. I only found out a few hours before they needed someone, so I didn't go. But Portal 2 was the hit
It was the big winner.
of the BAFTAs. How many did it win?
It won 3 awards,
Okay.
including Best Game,
Wow.
which is obviously the top one to get. Also got Best Story and Best Design. And I think rightly so. I think Portal 2 was a real standout last year. It was a bit like what we were talking about earlier with Journey, that it just does something really different, albeit... it's a sequel, whatever. The story in it and all of the voice acting in it and all of the level design is just like a real step above so many other games, really the bulk of everything else that's out. So yeah, give it to Portal 2, definitely.
I've just noticed that BAFTA is sponsored by Game.
Yeah.
They should stop sponsoring.
Yeah, I
things.
was just thinking.
Save your money.
I think they've already paid for that one. Maybe not next year, eh?
Who would sponsor it if it wasn't Game?
Tesco.
Possibly.
How about us? MSN Gamecast.
MSN
Again,
Gamecast.
we're really splashing the old MSN credit card around today, aren't we?
That'd be alright.
Cruise.
I'm sure the bosses would be very
After the
appreciative
cruise.
as well.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Any other standout games at BAFTA that did...
Well, Skyrim didn't get anything, which was a little bit of a surprise, I think. But I think Battlefield 3 was probably the other big winner, that and Little Big Planet 2. And they have a special award, don't they, for the
Yes.
biggest achievement. It was Kojima got it last year, but this time it was the Minecraft guy.
is that the annoying game on the computer?
Minecraft?
Yeah, was that... What's Minecraft?
Is that one
You're
where you
thinking
go-
of
Minefield.
Oh, Minesweeper.
Minesweeper.
That would be awesome.
All
They
of
go
the
with that
trolls
guy.
on the internet going, he knows nothing about games. I'm proving everything they've said. Okay.
Next year, the prize goes to Solitaire. mate.
but I bet more people have played Minesweeper than this. What is this, Minecraft?
No,
you're talking about?
Minecraft is
True.
Well, yeah. Then again, they
probably
probably
right.
so.
Everyone in the world has played Minesweeper, haven't they? So.
I used to play it when I was a kid and I had no idea what I was doing. I just used
Yeah.
to play by chance.
Exciting news today, genuinely exciting. iPlayer on the 360 launches today. Wonderful. I'm in.
Eventually.
And,
Yeah.
it's the whole kit and caboodle because 4 on demand on there isn't everything, is it? I don't know. I discovered the hotel. Have you seen the hotel?
The hotel?
Yes.
Oh,
is it the television program?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
really
no,
good.
no.
Channel 4.
Yeah. I
Okay.
interviewed the guy, Mark, the
Did you?
hotel manager. He's just like that in real life. Absolutely bonkers. But I discovered that via the 360, 4 on demand. Saw that. Wonderful. We all had homework this week. Your homework, children, was to watch at least Rec 1, ideally Rec 1 and Rec 2.
Do you know, I'd never heard of this film until you said it last month.
Yeah, that was the whole
And then
conversation last month.
And
yeah.
then I didn't stop hearing people talk about it on
Yep,
Twitter.
Yep.
I think it was on TV or something at one point.
And so
I
you
just
watched it, and what did you think of it?
didn't watch it. I was on holiday for 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying. 2 weeks out, my month was gone.
Nick, you watched one and two, one on its own?
Not exactly.
Unbelievable.
It's on my playlist. I've got it queued up and ready to watch.
Unbelievable.
But how about yourself, Ian?
Well, now...
Dog Soldiers.
Now, isn't it funny you mention that? Because I posted on the Facebook page, facebook.com/MSN Gamecast, what was my homework? Couldn't remember, and I couldn't bear to listen to the shambles that was last month's show. Really. And I posted that about 3 weeks ago. An hour before I left my house to come here today, you replied to that going, Dog Soldiers. Well, I haven't got time to watch it now, so it's your fault I've not watched it.
You were in the original conversation, though, in this room.
Only partially. I was on very strong medication last time. Very strong medication.
Well, shall we agree to postpone homework until
Do it for next one.
podcast?
Do it for next one. Yeah.
So, Dog Soldiers? and
Rec 1 and 2.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Shenmue is making an HD comeback.
This is one of your favourites, isn't it?
Well, it's one of my favourites, but it's also a very, very dull game. And I played Shenmue on the Dreamcast, and it at the time was wonderful and was immersive and detailed, a little bit boring, and I got to the end of disc 1, I think. I can't remember if it's 3 discs. I got to the end of disc 1 or disc 2 after like a 6-hour session. This was in the days when I could handle a 6-hour session. And I didn't save it. And I kind of thought, nah, never going to play that again.
No.
I'm never going to go back to that ever again. But it's coming back. The 1 and 2, they're ready in HD format for Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. And the fabled Shenmue 3, that was it made? Wasn't it made? Ooh, probably wasn't made, but there's rumours about it. There are rumours that if this does well, then they'll crack on and finally release that.
Yeah.
I don't know, 10, 12 years after it was supposed to come out. So it's kind of exciting. It's exciting because it is an historic game, and at the time was groundbreaking, and was and it, is huge and sprawling. And I always think it's great when kind of retro games are reimagined and brought up to the. I'm sorry. I've just seen this as well, which I'd forgotten about, and someone told me about. Jet Set Radio is coming out in HD as well.
Yes.
Jet Set Radio, which is again another Dreamcast game. Just what a fantastic game!
Never had a Dreamcast.
Oh, never had a dream. Dreamcast is the great lost console, and people were talking on the Facebook page again about failed consoles. The Dreamcast wasn't a failure. Dreamcast was in no way a failure. They were still.
Was.
Well, no, Nick, I'm going to have you up on this. They were still making games for the Dreamcast in Japan 6 years ago, like years and years after it had finished. It was only a failure in as much as PlayStation 2 kind of kept saying, well, don't buy that, because when we come out, we are going to be wicked, and we've got a wicked game called Bouncer, and it's going to be awesome. And PlayStation 2, when it came out, for the first 9 months, was rubbish. It didn't have anything. It wasn't until Gran Turismo came out that it was amazing. But Dreamcast was the first console, pretty much, cheat history a little bit, the first mainstream console that you could plug online, go online with, and play with your friends. It was not... how can you call it a failure?
No, it's definitely ahead of its
sales
time.
figures may indicate failure, but in terms of gameplay and groundbreakingness,
Well, this was the thing. No one ever bought it, and no
one ever
one
bought
really
one, that's
played
correct.
it.
No one ever bought
Including
it.
me.
But what is good, I thoroughly recommend get a Dreamcast for like 25 quid. I'm totally guessing on eBay, because what you can do, it wasn't protected, so you can just burn games on. And now that they don't make games anymore, this is perfectly within your rights to do this. You can just burn games offline and play them on a normal CD, and it'll work, and it's wonderful.
Was that possibly part of the reason that it didn't do so well?
No, because I don't think anyone really realised until like afterwards. They went, "Oh, hang on a minute! I think we can just do this." I certainly didn't realise. But the Dreamcast, it's beautiful. It's got some fantastic Japanese shoot 'em ups. Just wonderful, wonderful. Anyway, Jet Set Radio is coming out.
I only ever played Jet Set Radio Future, which was one of the launch titles on the original Xbox.
Yep.
Did you play
Radio
that
was
one
better
as well?
Yeah, the first one was better.
The first one
Yeah,
was
yeah.
better, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right, I'm eating a biscuit now. You can do
All
some,
right.
Nick.
There's likely to be a sequel to Epic Mickey. Did any of us play Epic Mickey, the first one?
Yes, I played it at either E3 or TGS, but I didn't actually get hold of a full copy when it came out. But I really liked what I played, and you
Yeah.
really enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I played quite a bit.
Yeah.
Of it, yeah. The only thing that I was a little disappointed about with the first one was all of the talk about it before was about how much freedom you would have to completely change the gaming world that you're playing in, and it didn't really pan out that
Never
way.
does.
Really?
Never does.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little bit of a, Peter Molyneux style announcement. Really,
Yeah.
what they were talking about around it. It's like, yes, you can do absolutely anything you want.
Peter
Well,
Molyneux, by the way,
actually-
who's bored of controllers. That's his
Is he?
latest statement. He's bored of controllers. I
Wow.
saw that. I thought, oh yeah,
Fantastic.
well done. Okay.
Can't wait to see what he comes. Because obviously, since we last had this, he's left Microsoft and
Of course he has. Yeah.
left Lionhead. So
And he's now living in a castle of dreams where he's making video games that work with your thoughts.
can't wait to see what he comes.
I
up
love
with.
Peter Molyneux. I think
More
he's
power
wonderful,
to
but he
him.
does talk a load of nonsense sometimes. By the way, sorry, going back, we talked about the pads and the tablet games. They've just brought out an email today. What's the... God. What's the game where you're a policeman and it's got the man from Mad Men in it? And you got
L.A. Noir.
I know, yeah.
They're bringing it out on pads. On,
Are they?
On
On tablets?
Yeah. So this guy sent me an email saying, hey, and just let you know, it's coming out on a tablet. If you want, I can get your copy. I said, well, I haven't got a tablet.
No.
He said, I'll let you borrow mine. Well, so I jokingly said, can you get me one? He said, I've got one you can have. Now, is it a have or a borrow? I don't know. I'm assuming it's a borrow, but
Yeah,
I can move house very, very quickly.
that would work really well on tablets, actually.
I think it would do. I think it's Android
Yeah.
tablets as opposed to pads, iPads.
Oh, is it?
I think.
Isn't LA Noir on live? So you can play it on your iPad?
I'm not sure if it's online.
I never got my own live to work.
Really? Not at all.
I've got to have my modem downstairs.
Do you? No, you can play it wirelessly, surely.
You can't. This was the whole,
No,
whole
yeah.
thing. You can't play it wirelessly.
Really? Ah.
You've got to have your modem downstairs. My modem is upstairs, and I'm not bringing my modem downstairs. I'm not doing it. Every now and then I go, right, I'm going to have a session with this, and I keep going and I go, oh, what is this? What plug is this? I spent literally 15 minutes trying to plug it into the wall. Oh, bum. I'm sure it's an excellent machine.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Which has never taken off because I can't. You've got to have your modem downstairs. Mass Effect 3 really has been taking the internet by storm. People very excited. A friend of mine, David, who does a little gaming podcast called JoyPod, is loving it, and I've stopped following him on Twitter because all of his tweets are about Mass Effect 3. It's like, oh, come on, give me a break. But there are complaints.
People have got the ump.
We don't want no spoilers.
There are no spoilers here.
spoilers.
No spoilers here, but no people have the ump about the ending. Apparently, it's too bleak. That's not a spoiler, but if you're expecting a happy ending, I suppose
I
it
like
would
bleak.
be this.
But because the creators have said that the ending was always going to be bittersweet. That was a quote. So why people are so surprised is a bit. But
Yeah,
one of them's taken it to the
pram.
one of them's taken it to the FTC. They're doing him for false advertising.
Someone phone his mother up and get him to... Idiot. But also players have complained that the decisions taken during the game have little effect on the ending. That happens, that's a bit naughty.
Well, it's kind of true. Yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, like how well you've done in the game has some bearing on what kind of ending you might get.
Right.
But yeah, there's you're pretty much free right at the end to choose which direction it goes in. But yeah, it's also resulted in some massive
Facebook campaign, is it?
well, and also a massive charity donation campaign. Which is, I suppose, kind of cool because some good has come out of it. But yeah, they've raised.
Oh yes, me pulling a face of charity. Oh,
But they've raised like over £40,000 for charity.
for what
Like,
charity is this though?
well, that's a good question. The answer of which I don't have right here at the moment. But
Sad, disaffected teenagers who get upset when a game isn't quite what they expected it to be.
well, yeah, I mean,
.com.
it's just the ending of the game, isn't it? People complain about game endings all the time. But
Yeah.
for some
Child's
reason,
Play,
this-
by the way, Child's Play, a charity which provides toys and video games
Child's
to
Play is an
children in
excellent
more than
charity.
70 hospitals worldwide.
It's an excellent charity, and well done them for that. So that's a good thing.
That is
But
a good charity, yeah.
it's the problem with these kind of games, the Mass Effect games, and other things like this, where people become too involved with it and they take it too personally and feel they have a right to dictate. It's like the end of Lost. No one was ever going to be happy with the end of Lost. No one really was going to be happy with the end of Mass Effect 3, were they?
No. But I wonder if this will result in it being changed via some downloadable
Well,
stuff.
they
'cause
have
there's-
said, I
there's
think,
precedent,
that
yeah.
they will like take on board. They always take on board, comments, and they're aware of all of the kind of like comments and upset.
Yeah.
Obviously, they can't not be, but
Do you
they
remember
haven't.
Fallout 3? That got changed because when it first came out, once you completed the mission, the game ended. You got the rolling credits, and that was it. End of game.
Right.
You can't do any more. And everyone went nuts about that, so they ended up changing it so that you finished the game and then you could still roam around. And that was a result of the pressure of the fans.
The comments that somebody said is that the game is all about choices and consequences, and that they were promised 16 different endings, but all the choices you make, and you get a choice of 3 different endings, which are basically the same with a couple of tweaks. So that is why people are upset.
They're not basically the same. I don't know. Well, they're sort of kind of, but
Is it called Driving Thunder?
No.
It's something, Nick. It's got black cover.
Rolling Thunder.
It's definitely, yes. Isn't it a black van?
It's like a black van or a truck or something, and there's fire. There might be a joke, or like a.
It's a clown's face. Yes.
Clown's face.
I was going to say that out loud, but then I thought.
Twisted Metal.
Yes.
Yes. We got there.
I should have said clown's face ages ago.
Oh, man.
I should have said clown's face ages ago.
I was very, very close to some of those suggestions, and all those. If anyone wants to make a game of any of those suggestions I threw out there, then please do. Anyway, so Twisted Metal has been.
It has.
Redone.
Twisted Metal has been redone. Yeah.
So have you played Twisted Metal?
No.
Oh man, it's awesome! It's just like awesome because on PS1, obviously, it was just a single player. I don't think maybe you could have had 2 players, but obviously you couldn't play it online. And it was just this bleak game of driving around town, shooting other vehicles and trying to destroy and reversing and smashing.
Isn't there like loads of like fire guns and stuff?
Fire guns and stuff.
Yeah.
The best one is the dude. He's just a dude, and he's just holding 2 wheels, and he like rolls around. Imagine how angry you'd be if that was your life. That's all he does.
Rolls around on wheels.
He holds 2 wheels with his arms, and he rolls around, and he like kills.
I'm going to have to give this one a go.
It's totally. I've got it, and I
Yeah.
keep meaning to. Having kids, it's difficult to get a session on the thing. I'm going to totally have a go.
Nick's got it. Nick's got it sorted.
Yeah.
Gaming with a baby.
Yeah.
Got it sorted.
What do you? How?
Well, with my new boy, we play Skyrim together. It's great. He lies on my chest, and I lean back on the couch and
I'm
have
not
a
allowed-
Skyrim
I'm
session.
not allowed
And he
to.
sleeps. He loves it. It soothes him.
I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to have
Really?
video games in front of the boy.
It's a bad influence.
But you've got a smaller one who's you've got small one and
but
a
not with any
relatively
of them.
small.
I'm not allowed to.
Oh,
and I kind of say, yeah, but video games in part paid for half of our new kitchen. And as much as I do this and I write stuff and I present awards and stuff like that, yeah, well, he's not playing them.
Oh,
Skyrim's a good influence, though. You know, it's all about
Yeah,
killing
it's
dragons.
all about
and
killing
stuff,
dragons,
you know.
isn't it?
What's bad about that?
Nothing. Anyway, I think that's all we've got on, for the news, isn't it? Let's have a look at what people have been saying on the Gamecast Facebook page, facebook.com/MSN Gamecast. I'll admit I've been a little bit quiet on there this month. I do apologise. Been busy. What can I tell you? I've been busy,
Well,
but I will. But this month I'm going to go on there like a rat up a Scotsman's leg.
I look forward to that.
And I'm gonna spam our page. I'm gonna troll it and then spam it. Is what I'm gonna do. So we asked, as we always do, hours before recording the Gamecast, what would you like us to talk about? Because basically none of us had done any preparation. Tony O'Hara, the controversial ending in Mass Effect 3. He's put that in inverted commas. I'm assuming that's because he spelt controversial wrong and he knew he was doing that. Then Michael mentions it'd be good if you spoke about what was the best failed console. I don't think Dreamcast was a failure. In Japan, it was huge. In Japan, it was massive. It never really took off as much as it should. I wouldn't class it as a failure.
I liked it. You know, I had a Dreamcast at the time, but yeah, I think it is a failure just because it didn't take off, did it? No one ever talked about the Dreamcast as a major platform. It was never an established.
It was the console that certainly broke Sega's back in terms of making consoles. You know, people forget they were like a huge player for a long time in the world of consoles. I can't come at you with facts, so next month I will have facts. We'll have next month.
Yeah,
we'll
have a fact off.
We're going to have a fact off. We're going to play console top trumps.
Awesome.
You can be PS2. I'll be Dreamcast.
Okay.
And Verity can be the GameCube.
Oh, what?
Sorry.
That's not fair.
Oh no, the GameCube was awesome.
Was it?
One of the best. They were.
I got one for my birthday and I was gutted.
What, this year? PS2, Dreamcast, and GameCube. 3 of the most stylish-looking consoles, though. Surely, aren't they? They look
I do still
wonderful.
have my GameCube.
I'm joking about GameCube. I love it.
They're talking about here the Atari Lynx. Now, did anybody have one of those?
I always wanted one. But
I
the
had
Lynx
one.
was the handheld one,
Yeah.
and the Jaguar was the one. I remember about 5-6 years ago, there was the equivalent of a pound shop was selling Jaguars. It wasn't a pound shop. They were selling Jaguars for like $9.99.
Really?
But I nearly bought one, but they were rubbish. I think.
Basically, I got one because I think it was cheaper than the Game Gear, and my stepdad was like, "Yeah, you can have that one." But It was good. I had
some wicked
I had a
games.
game. Well, there was probably some better games than the ones I had. I had Junkyard Dog. It's good.
That sounds awesome.
It was really good at
Yeah.
the time. I was a kid.
It's a brilliant console. Just it just died a death, and they
Scrapyard
released
Dog.
about 20 games, and they thought, oh,
And
actually,
didn't
Yeah.
the batteries last about 20 minutes on it because it was powering that massive colour screen?
I don't remember that. I don't remember it being a massive issue.
because weren't I
don't
think
know.
I can get my gaming history correct. Weren't Atari offered the Game Boy? And they were in like a deal, and they're like, yeah, well, maybe we'll do this Game Boy thing. And then they kind of went, actually, I think we can do better. You can keep the Game Boy, Nintendo. I
Really?
think I've got this right. If I've got this, someone Facebook again, let us know. And they said, no, I think we can do better than this. Actually, we can make it colour, and we can do la la la. And we're Atari, we're awesome.
Yeah.
So the Japanese kind of went away a bit annoyed. And like, well, we'll do this GameCube thing on our own, and we'll see where we get. We'll do this Game Boy thing on our own and see where we get. And then there was kind of like a big war, and
That
Lynx
sounds
just
like
got
the Sony
murdered.
PlayStation story a bit. Which was
Oh, that was who were they going to make PlayStation with Nintendo, weren't
Sony
they?
were making
Sony,
the
yeah.
PlayStation. Yeah, I think it was with Nintendo,
Yeah.
and then they decided actually we'll go off and do it on our own.
Yeah.
And then
I know
boom,
Nintendo
suddenly-
told them to get stuffed, I think, because they were
Did
gonna,
they? Yeah.
Nintendo
Right.
was going to do the games console, and Sony was going to do the disc part of it.
Yeah.
And Nintendo went, actually, do you know what, guys? No thanks. We're going to kill you.
Yeah, that's
And then
yeah.
Sony came out and went, up yours, Dolores. I will have a little look. 'Cause if I'll check up on the history there. How about? Oh, look, Ben Taylor, Portal 2, winning most of the awards at the BAFTAs. Good game. Don't get me wrong, but didn't deserve all of them.
Don't agree.
only won
well,
3.
It won 3, and
Design, I think.
yeah, story and best
Story.
game.
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
you can argue with any of those.
You know,
By the way, Ben Taylor says that the other topics we've discussed so far, boring topics. Then Michael Burke, I'm hoping it's the Michael Burke, host of 999 and The Moral Maze.
Oh, I used to love 99.
How is talking about consoles of our childhood's a boring subject? Compared to Portal 2 winning an award, it's an Oscar-winning subject. They're kicking off.
Kicking off. Got
Cyberbullying
beef.
is happening on the face. Calm down, kids. It's a friendly place to hang out. We
do
don't
they
need
hand
this.
out Oscars for forum subjects?
I
I'm not sure.
think they. I'm not sure. We'll check up on that.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Stuart McDougall drank a can of Coke today. Thought, I've gained 2 fatigue but lost 5 health. Perhaps I'm playing too much Skyrim.
I feel your pain. I'm doing very similar.
Daniel Rayner, who's kind of was going a little bit heavy with the post, he's calmed down a bit. Daniel, listen, I enjoy your posts. You post as much as you want, brother. Has a video game ever made you laugh? I don't know if it has. And what weird things have you done in games to entertain yourself? I used to like nudging people in Grand Theft Auto to get them a little bit annoyed.
I do that in pretty much every game that
I do that in real life.
enables it. Just barge my way past.
Oh yeah, there's lots of
What
going up
was
to people.
that? What
and-
were we trying to... Oh, no, I'm not going to remember. It's going to be one of those things... Bit like
Twisted
you've done
Metal.
today.
Was it?
It was a recent game, and we went to me and a couple of friends went to the launch, and we picked up a fire hydrant and were just hitting a guard around the head with it to see...
Jeez, at the launch. In the game, sorry, in the
game.
game. I apologise, yes.
To see if he would do anything, but he
Yeah.
didn't.
It's
And we
like-
kept throwing it at like a guard that was like walking backwards and forwards, and it kept hitting him. And go, oh, keep walking.
In some games, well, you know, when you got the bit when it's like it's all happening and you can't control it, but they're showing like a little film and stuff. But you can still move around a bit and look around.
Yep.
Do you ever shoot the person that's talking to you? And in some games, you can shoot the person. Then in some of the early Call of Duty games, you could shoot the person, and then you just fail the whole mission that you've done because
Yeah.
you shot the dude, or you try and just like shoot past his ear.
Point and clicks used to make me laugh. They were sometimes quite
Monkey
funny.
Island.
Monkey Island was funny.
Right.
Oh, you got a really silly grin on your face there. That was lovely.
Oh, yeah, Monkey Island's
Day of the
smashing,
Tentacle was quite funny.
Yeah.
Sam and Max was quite funny as well.
More recently, Portal 2 as well. That made me laugh loads.
I don't think video games are funny.
You don't
Really?
think they're scary?
No,
are
no,
they?
not at all. They really don't get much emotion from me.
Not even any joy.
No,
Just
it's very little
No.
joy. Oh, how is the world record attempt?
Yeah,
Is that still going on?
It is.
Well,
It's
tell
still
us about
up
this
there.
again, because this is
There's-
fantastic.
The leading one at the moment is a guy who's managed to win by 4 clear goals.
So what do you have to do? You're
it's
FIFA
so
12.
difficult.
It's a really tough challenge. Yeah, it's FIFA 12. You have to play against the computer, and the computer has to be Spain. You can be any team
Yeah.
you like. You have to play 10-minute halves, and you have to win by as many goals as you can.
And this is to get in the
But
Guinness
the
World
kicker,
Records.
Yeah, is you have to play on legendary setting.
Right.
And beating Spain in the first place on legendary is
Yeah.
as hard as you would expect.
Yeah.
So the challenge is now to beat them by more than 4 goals, because at the moment that's where the record's going. If you can beat it, you'll get your name in next year's Guinness World Book of Records.
Which is
Is it
pretty
actual? Is it an
awesome.
actual book, or is it going to be online? Because
That's
they're getting
actual
rid of
book.
It's the actual book. So
Yeah.
they're getting rid of Encyclopedia Britannica.
Are they?
Yeah, they're getting rid of the books, and it's just going to be online.
That's rubbish.
It is a bit rubbish, because I like the book. Kids are stupid. Enough as it is. Let me finish this sentence without offending too many people. Kids are stupid enough as it is. They won't have the skills to look up information in a book. They'll go to Wikipedia, which, as we all know, is the home of the made-up fact.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have an online encyclopedia that idiots can go and change stuff in.
But don't encyclopedias just take up far too much space? You need a whole bookshelf just for this enormous
Yeah, but
thing.
that's awesome.
Yes.
Just have it right there in front of you, and that's the future, surely.
I think that it's good to have it online, but I think you shouldn't stop printing it as a book.
You should have it as a book, and also it could be hacked into online. There was a story a couple of weeks ago about like this head of like the CIA or something had his Facebook page, and he befriended loads of MI5 people on Facebook, right? And then the head of the CIA went,
very safe.
"That's not my Facebook page." And basically, they think it was the Chinese government. This is what it said in the mail. So the Chinese government had set up this Facebook page to trick all these MI5 and MI6 agents to befriend him, so they could get. Now, it said secret information. I don't know what secret information they would have got, apart from maybe pictures of their kids on a holiday and maybe a cake they'd made or something. But so you can't trust anything online, is what I'm trying to say in a very roundabout way.
I see.
I've seen some really messed up Wikipedia posts where you just know that they...
I was a gay cowboy for 2 years on Wikipedia, right? And every time... I've never ridden a horse in my life. And every time I tried to change it, I got banned from changing my own Wikipedia page because they thought I was vandalising it. So I kept taking that off for 2 years. So, don't get me started on Wikipedia. It's true. Absolutely true.
Is it back to normal now?
Well, it's factually incorrect, but I'm no longer billed as a gay cowboy, so
That's brilliant.
that's something to be. New Assassin's Creed was launched yesterday.
Yes.
We were invited to it, but we would have had to have waited around for about 4 hours to see anything, so we didn't go.
That's about the long and the short.
Here's a tip. If listen, Nick and Verity and myself are in various combinations are always happy to come to stuff. Of course we are. We like to record little things like we did with the Star Wars Connect. Don't make us hang around for 3 or 4 hours, do you know what I mean? 45 minutes tops. And there better be free food and drink there. And we want to take home a free copy of the game. That's
just
all.
very, very simple request.
Right, so homework this month is Rec 1 at least, hopefully Rec 2. You'll want to watch Rec 2 once you've seen Rec 1 because it's so awesome. And I'll watch, what is it, Goodfellas? What is it?
Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers. I'll be watching that. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Just having a little flick through.
Go on. Listen, this is what I discovered, that the iTunes chart is flawed, and it's powered not by the number of downloads, it's by the number of new subscriptions and by the number of reviews and nice comments. So come on, let's work this system in our favour, kids. If you're subscribed, unsubscribe. Then subscribe, then unsubscribe, and just keep doing that. It counts. It all counts.
Really?
It counts. I know, it's mental.
Yeah.
And if you've not left us a comment or a review on there, then please do. It'll take you 2 minutes. Just 5 stars and write something like, "This was brilliant. I thought Ian was the best out of all 3. Something like that. Whatever you fancy. Because it will help us get a bit more, up the charts and stuff like that, and that'll be lovely. You can go to facebook.com/MSN Gamecast. At Ian Lee, IAINLEE is my Twitter. Nick, what's your Twitter?
I'm at MSN Tech Nick.
And it's NIK, isn't it?
NIK. At the
Verity?
end,
Don't give out your personal one, because we don't want to know about your drunken nights on buses. Which is what you will hear.
How rude. At MSN Tech Verity.
And you kind of do it more, and I retweet some of yours, but you two are very good at tweeting when the MSN Game and Tech and Game and Gadgets page has got new trailers or new reviews or new bits and pieces.
All sorts.
So, and some awesome stuff goes up there, and I retweet some of it, but it's best to follow you two and find that. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to talk about, and until next time, ta-ta.
Goodbye. See you later.
Gamecast from MSN.